ceremony, May 24th, 2019. Tonight we're here to honor Leland, or Lee Henry. On behalf of the Waterloo Library and Historical Society, I welcome you to beautiful historic Fadsinger Hall. Let us take a brief moment to give a special welcome to our previous Wells Awards winners, recipients, who are present tonight. If you would please stand for us. A few of you on there.
Come on.
Thank you. The annual Wells Award ceremony places a high honor upon the individuals who have etched their way to the history of our great community, just as Henry C. Wells had done over a century and a half ago. The recipients of this award serve as the inspiration to our community now and for many years to come. First, I would like to introduce Lynn Patty, Board Secretary to the Waterloo Library and Historical Society, to say a few words about Lee.
It is my great pleasure tonight to introduce the 2019 Henry C. Wells Award recipient, Mr. Leland Henry, aka Lee. For those who know him, you must be aware of his long-time activism in the Waterloo community. He was on the Waterloo Town Board, the Waterloo School Board, and recently the group known as the Concerned Citizens. Volunteerism is the primary criteria in the choosing of the individual for this award, and Lee certainly qualifies. My interactions with Lee were through his work with the Library Board and the Historical Society Board of Trustees. From about 2002 through 2007, he helped to get the budget on a computerized basis with the, with the help of Fred Lisinski, who was the treasurer at the time. He also instituted a health plan for permanent employees, as well as set up a retirement plan for them. Always aware of the financial needs of both the library and the museums, he spearheaded the annual fundraising raffles, which helped to highlight the Memorial Day Museum's dedication to the telling of the Memorial Day story and Waterloo's premier role in making it a national commemoration. Along with two other board members, Lou LeBrun, John Taylor, Lee Henry, formed a triumvirate of men who helped move the society into the heightened awareness of the needs of the buildings under our care and into a new era of renovation of the facilities. We are forever grateful for his time and dedication and consummate professionalism. We say a grateful thank you and congratulations to Mr. Lee Henry. Present him with this lovely plaque. It says the Henry C. Wells Award, presented to Leland Henry. This award is bestowed upon that citizen of Waterloo, New York, who embodies the character and commitment of the founder of Memorial Day, Henry C. Wells, toward the betterment of our community. From the Waterloo Library and Historical Society, 2019.
I guess now I have an opportunity to bore you. I do have some words to say. Good evening, all. Members of the award committee, Madam President, board members of the Waterloo Library and Historical Society, society members, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen. My thanks to the Library and Historical Society for this prestigious award. I am humbled to be included in the company of previous nominees. In accepting this award, I am conscious of all of those who have contributed their faith and support in these efforts to preserve our community ideals. This award is really theirs, and it is my privilege to accept it on their behalf. I was previously prepared to talk about environmentalism, but that's an awful word to shudder around, so I thought better, why not review some of what Henry Wells did back in 1866? And that was over 150 years ago. And Waterloo then was only 1 year since the end of the Civil War, which lasted 4 long years. Waterloo had contributed its share to the cause and suffered a proportion of the loss and maimed. The general feeling had to be remorse and dread of where the country was headed, as it is today with at least 2 conflicts we are involved in. Henry Wells thought about decorating the graves with boughs of greenery, flags of the country flying at half-mast, draped in the mourning, only 36 stars at that time, and marching with martial music would be a fitting tribute, that bringing the town together in common grief and remembrance would ease the pain for all. Ideas such as this took time to circulate. No cell phones, no instant communication then. It was when General Murray, a dedicated veteran, who spirited the idea. Finally, on the 6th of May, 1866, the first recorded Decoration Day, as it was called then, was held. Years later, the day was changed to Memorial Day and renamed, and moved to the May 30 date to take better advantage of the selection of flowers and decorations. Waterloo still recognizes May 30 as the true Memorial Day, and still in 2019 holds to the 1866 thought of our lost soldiers, their sacrifice, and the sharing of common grief. Henry had a grand idea that addressed the common problem. Today we are more centrally organized and sharing of ideas with almost instant communication. The government, local government of town or village, hold regular meetings to share the business and share the new ideas and thoughts. And it is this area that we need to embrace. Voting in the town of Waterloo is an amazing percentage of registered voters, and you are to be congratulated. Attendance at public meetings, however, is a source of concern, because that is where the action is. That is where bad things happen, such as landfills, zoning abuses. But also there are good things that progress and make the brighter our future. The vigilant must be there to ensure our right to speak out and express our concerns for our future. It is for the governed to be the watchful eye of government, else it be stolen from you. Let us therefore be on guard. Let us also individually and cooperatively ensure we become active in shaping our direction for the future with participation and involvement in government. Let that be our personal plan, one and all, and for our future, and hopefully for a better Waterloo. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That was very moving, and we appreciate everything you've done for our community and for the Historical Society. Next, I would like to introduce Jonathan, a representative from Senator Helming's office, to read through some of the proclamation from there.
Mr. Henry, first of all, I want to say, as a veteran myself, I want to thank you for your service to our country. I know this weekend we celebrate the fallen heroes, but to me it's always a good time to recognize those who have served in our military, so thank you. And as a resident of Waterloo myself, thank you for all you've done for the community. Like you, I'm not originally from here, but I've made this my home. I love it. I know you do too, so thank you for all that you've done. And on behalf of Senator Pam Helming, just congratulations on this well-deserved recognition. She couldn't be here tonight. As you can imagine, it's a pretty busy weekend for her. But she did want to recognize Mr. Henry with a proclamation that I'd like to read. Honoring Leland Henry upon the occasion of receiving the 2019 Henry C. Wells Award. Whereas a great state is only as great as those individuals who perform exemplary service on behalf of their community, whether through unique achievement in professional or other endeavors, or simply through a lifetime of good citizenship. And whereas attendant to such concern, I, New York State Senator Pamela Helming, hereby honor Leland Henry upon the occasion of receiving the 2019 Henry C. Wells Award. Whereas Henry C. Wells was the Waterloo druggist who came up with the idea of setting aside a day to honor those who died in the Civil War. This led to Waterloo becoming the birthplace of Memorial Day for its first Memorial Day observance in May 1866. And whereas Congress declared Waterloo the birthplace of Memorial Day in 1966, and whereas the Henry C. Wells Award honors those who embody the character and commitment of the founder of Memorial Day toward the betterment of our community. And whereas for more than 50 years, Mr. Henry has worked tirelessly for the improvement of his adopted hometown community. And whereas for that, Mr. Henry of 93 Virginia Street will be awarded the 2019 Henry C. Wells Award, kicking off the annual Celebrate and Commemorate Memorial Day weekend observation. Whereas born in Brooklyn, Mr. Henry came to Waterloo with his family in 1946 and graduated from Waterloo High School in 1947. After a year in college, he enlisted in the Army, serving for 4 years with the 82nd Airborne Division. Whereas, while in the service, Mr. Henry married his high school sweetheart, Alice. And whereas, after his discharge, Mr. Henry and his wife moved back to Waterloo, where he was very active, working tirelessly for the improvement of his community. And whereas, from his service in the Lions Club and the JCs to his work in the town board and his efforts as a private citizen, Mr. Henry's life of service and commitment is exemplary. And whereas Mr. Henry served as Vice President of Concerned Citizens of Seneca County, a group that worked to stop a proposed clay mine for Seneca Meadows landfill north of North Road and west of Burgess Road. And whereas Mr. Henry enjoys spending time with his children and their spouses, 9 grandchildren and 6 great-grandchildren. And whereas it is a sense of this legislative body that when individuals of such noble aims and accomplishments are brought to our attention, it is appropriate to publicly proclaim and commend them for the edification and emulation of others. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that I, New York State Senator Pamela Helming, recognize that in Leland Henry we have an individual worthy of our highest respect and esteem. And be it further proclaimed that a copy of this proclamation be transmitted to Leland Henry, dated May 24, 2019.
Thank you, Jonathan. Next, I would like to introduce Mrs. Harriet Tubman.
I'm surely honored to be here again today. These are the people, the Welleses, the recipients of every year here that won these awards. These are the people that makes the clocks on the wheel go round, that bring freedom to all of God's children. If it hadn't been for people like this and all of these people here, I wouldn't be standing here today a free woman. These are the people that have made America work. The Stanfords, Carters, Ruggles, Douglases, the Monts, the Gages. All of these people have made the communities work. Down on Route 34, as I was going up the hill, maybe I should say the mountain, there were homes on both sides of the road. Places, secreted, where people open their windows and open their doors and just call out. The herds, furniture store, Baltimore, Maryland. Native Americans open their doors and say, we're going to leave out food These wives no Negro people. Well, I prefer to call us black. But some people stepped out, and they reached out, and they opened up their hearts and their homes to us. These are the people that make America work today. They're still here. They're still here. Hallelujah. Thank God they're still here. And I thank you for letting me sing a little piece today. Amen.
Thank you so much. And last but not least, President Abraham Lincoln, 16th President.
Thank you. I am very pleased to have this opportunity to say a few things. And like the old woman's dance, I intend to keep it short and sweet. Mr. Henry, it is an honor to have this opportunity to meet you. I was astounded to find out that he's actually older than I am. And likely in much better shape. After listening to all of these remarkable statements, I realize that everything that I had prepared to say has already been said. It is heartening to know, as Ms. Tubman referred to so illustriously, that there are still such people among us. I have a man on my cabinet who I have found on the floor in his office, gasping for breath because of his physical health. He's committed to serve, even if it kills him, and has been told by his doctor that it might, but he will not give up. Stories such as these, I could go on and on, but I don't need to, because they're among us. I've seen countless thousands. I've had hundreds before me in my office whose stories very akin to this story, which I read and was duly impressed. And it puts me in mind of the remarks that were made at the dedication of the National Cemetery at Gettysburg. I will not repeat those remarks, but I wish to say that occasions such as this are not only vital for the giving of honor to those to whom it is due, in this case tonight, Mr. Henry, but to the countless thousands of unnamed heroes who may never receive such illustrious recognition. But the greater question is what was raised at Gettysburg, the dedication of memorials, days for remembrance, awards, is vitally important. But what is even more important is that we go hence from such occasions with a new dedication within us to emulate in our own peculiar ways the service, the selflessness, the fortitude, the endurance that people like Mr. Henry and many of you have personified for so many years. It says in the sacred writ, greater love hath no man than this, that a man should lay down his life for his friends.
Amen.
And so I wish personally to leave this place asking myself, what might I yet do in those years remaining to me to emulate men like Mr. Henry, those of you who have already received this award, and the countless young men and women among us who will remain unnamed, who have indeed given their lives for the benefit of others. Let us all go from this place asking ourselves honestly and candidly, what might we do that we have not yet thought of that will make such a mark, whether recognized or not? And that indeed, my friends, will make this evening's gathering, these awards, tomorrow's remembrances and festivities worth doing. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. It's been quite an honor to be here and listen to all these great speeches tonight. The award ceremony has come to an end, but please feel free to continue the celebration downstairs. There's some more food to finish off, and we thank you all for your continued support. Enjoy the 2019 Celebrate Commemorate weekend, and I'll see you soon. See you next year. Thank you.